don't know where I left off, but this wood here is pretty good, smooth and straight. I can see quite a bit of daylight through there, but I can fix that with Bondo. The main thing is it's straight. And this other one, I put the other clip and bolt up here on top. This is the best that I could get it, and I don't know if this camera is showing it, but you know, I got a pretty good gap in there. So what I'm going to do is take the welder. It stops about right here. This is straight down in here. I can fix any of this stuff with Bondo, but I'm going to take the welder and just weld this up to about that much, grind it off smooth. You can see I've got about a 1/4 of an inch of weld to put on there. Probably take 2 or 3 passes, little spot welds, to build this fender up. And this will all be good metal then. This is brass, can't weld to it, so I'll try to, you know, maybe grind it. It's pretty smooth already, but I want to fix this place here and try to get as much weld down in here as I can, and then I can take a cut-off tool blade or something and open that gap up. But I just wanted to weld this, so I'll make a couple passes across there and bring it back and show you what it did. Here's one pass. Didn't work out too good. Burned a hole in it right there, and it was hitting brass, but the top part of the weld turned out pretty good. I'll come back here and try to patch this hole and put another bead right next to that. There's another little pass. I got my hole patched and I'm starting to build it up. I'm going to put another bead alongside of this one, and I need to angle my rod back into it that way and try to fill that gap right there. Here's a couple more passes. I don't really care if I'm getting this fender hot, because it's under stress. I'm probably gonna, it's not that hot back here, but I'm getting it pretty much filled up. So I got a little more up in here right next to this brass, but the thing is, this really doesn't want to weld in there, but I can fill it up just a little bit. Probably make another pass back here. Maybe I'll grind it off to see what I got, and then I'll have a better idea of what welding I need to do still. Well, that was actually pretty good. I need to get a little right in here, build that lip up. This is not a big deal. I started touching it, so it's pretty flush across there. These little pits I don't care about. Bondo will fill that, but I do need to get a little bit right back in there. Try to get this lip built up just a little more, and I probably ought to put a little right in here on this valence. I think I'll do that. I'll probably put a little bead right in there to try to close that gap up some. And and but basically it's pretty good as is. Just a little in here and a little on this side. I'll wire brush that so the weld will stick. Well, there it is, welded up and kind of polished down. Use my little air tool there to clean it up. It looks a little rough. I need to get back there and hammer this dent out just a little bit right here. I'll probably take some of the stress off of it. But what I'll do is put a piece of tape on the inside of this, and then I'll just fill this whole place here with Bondo. That way I'm not bondoing up my metal here, and then I can straighten this gap out real good. I tried not to weld or grind into my little plate here, and I can fix all this up in here with Bondo and stuff. But all looks pretty good. I'm not going to do any more on it today. I want to try to dolly this and sort it out. It's kind of hard to hit from the inside, and I'm tired of crawling under it. And weld up the rest of these bad spots. These fenders still moving around. Yeah, it's still kind of flexible, and yeah, that bottom's broke loose, so I have to fix all this. And once I get it fixed and solid again, then I go ahead and knock it all flat and try to work on the Bondo of this part here. But it looks good. And the other one I'm not going to have to weld. I'll just be able to clean that up and Bondo it. Good enough. So that's kind of the done project for today. I wanted to get it all off and everything bolted good. I got a set of bolts for it, for that lower valence, and I used them all except for one clip. And I had a good clip in there that I just didn't put a new one in. So I got one clip left. That's good. But to me it looks a lot better than it did. It's all pretty straight. I also have to work on them doors, but and these eyebrows here. But it looks real good. It's straight. Gaps are all good. This is all loose, of course, but once I can get that where it should be, and then when I take it all apart to paint it, when I go to put it back, I just have to make sure that my curves line up and it'll be straight. So pretty good lick for this part of it. Thought I'd make a little video of it starting and running. Please like and subscribe. Maybe it'll start. Problem. Leave myself enough room to get by here. Call it quits. Nice Sunday. Well, I'm here on this fender again, and it's pretty much trashed on the inside. I'm here on this fender. This is all kind of bad, but it's chewed up here on the inside. Can't really see it, so I'm gonna jack it up, and it's got some kind of silicone or something back in there. I gotta cut all that out and fix this whole lip here. So I'll jack it up and see what we can get started. Kind of looking at the same business here. This whole patch goes around down here to the corner, and there's no lip on it. This lip tapers off right in here, and I'm just looking at this. We got almost 1/4 of an inch of bondo here. This whole lip here has been kind of made out of bondo, so I'm going to have to replace this whole piece, and it looks like it was welded onto what was left of the fender here. So what I'm going to try to do is make me a pattern for this piece here, and cut me a piece out that'll fit in here, and then I'll probably weld a whole new piece right in here. I don't think that I can't tell if this has been welded or formed, but it looks like I can cut it real close here with a cutoff tool and preserve that fender. I can feel the fender on the back, so I'm pretty sure the fender's going, well, all the way back here somewhere. So if I cut this whole lip out, I'm going to make a pattern first so I can get the rough shape that I need. Once I cut it out, it's going to be sort of hard to try to make that shape. So I'll make a pattern first. Well, I'm going to strip the bondo off here first. We'll take a look at it, and then I'll make a pattern. Now I cut me a couple pieces out of that old Rambler that I chopped up. It's got good undercoat. Been primed good. This is the piece that I cut to go along this outside lip, and this piece here is the I don't know how it goes actually, like that. This is the fender lip that I'll put in it. Pretty much matches that outside edge. So I think my best bet to get this thing done would be to cut this inside lip out so I can put this one in, and I can get it to this shape. Keep showing too much down. I can get it to this shape here. Don't look too bad, and just tack it in a couple places, and I'm pretty sure I can cut this fairly straight into this this edge and put this the curve in first. At least I know where it'll be going, and probably only going to be able to tack it one place up here at the top. Maybe I won't cut the whole, yeah, I got to cut the whole edge out, because this has got to go down inside there. But I should be able to tack it just up here on the top and kind of tweak it around, and then maybe tack it a little bit right on the bottom down there, wherever that happens to be. And then once I get this outer plate on, I can work on grinding this curve. So I suppose that'll be the next thing, is to cut this out and then bend this piece here. I got way too much on the inside, which is good. I can always cut that off or grind it down. So that's the next part, is try to cut this off and leave a nice smooth edge. It's going to be more complicated than I thought. Basically, I got a piece here that will cover this up. I cut a little piece out of here to see how I could get it welded, the second piece to this fender. It goes down here and it's all rusted out. So I'm going to try to tack this right here at the top and right here where it crosses it. Those two places. And that'll hold this where it's supposed to go. Then I got to cut all of this piece here off, including this bad fender. Now the fender goes all the way down here. So once I get this cut off, I'm going to have to make another piece for this fender to come back. See, I don't know how well this is going to work, but the main thing is I've got this at the right shape. It's a pretty nice round curve. I can get it in and tacked. Then I can cut all of this off and straighten whatever I can on this what's left of this fender. At least get it down into here. It's just going to be kind of hard to do. Back here, this is, you know, 1/4 of an inch thick. Right here it's been, this was formed, this piece and this piece was all formed and bent over. It looks real thick right here, but it's not. That's just a little thin metal that was left over from the cutting. But once I can get this tacked in two places, I can hammer this in up to the edge of this thing, wherever it goes, like that, and make this part. Then I can weld that to this piece, so I've got the whole fender welded to the lip. Once I get the lip in, then I can worry about doing this piece here. Who knows, I might not need any more down here in the bottom. Once this lip is all the way down here, and the piece over it, we'll see. I'm just gonna have to weld it up, cut stuff off, and go from there to what I need to do. I got this welded pretty good right here, also on the inside there, and I'm matching my curve pretty decent all the way down to the bottom. I tacked it right here. This will all come off, but I can cut all of this area right here and get rid of this piece, and then I can try to weld the inside of this lip a little better. So that's what I'll do, is cut that off, and I'll try to not get into what's left of the fender. I've got rust holes in it already in a couple places I'm going to have to try to fix, but I'm going to see if I'm going to have to add some fender down here in the bottom. But in the meantime, I got to get this all off of here so I can try to put my other patch on it. Well, here's this piece welded up. Looks like a mess, but I don't really care because it's going to be inside. There was a lot of gaps, and you can see the bend in it right here. Feels pretty good from the back, and I welded my cut, did a pretty decent job here, but a lot of this was gaps and brass both, so I kind of had to build it up and then bridge across to get it to stick. And I took my little grinder and made this curve here a little better. It was sticking out a little, I thought, too high. This part's still all bad, but it's just fender. There's no lip right here. Kind of see back there that there's nothing. And what I was thinking about doing is just cutting a piece out of here, a square piece, and just making another piece right here for this gap. I don't know if I should do that or just put this in here. Where'd my other, well, whatever my filler piece is going to be, I'll just weld it in like this and fill this back place here with Bondo. But I think I would be better off at least cutting it right above this rust place, and if nothing else, just put a panel, a patch panel right there. That way I can weld it across here, weld it across there, and I'm not going to have to fill this whole thing with Bondo because it will catch water and it'll eventually rust out. And I just don't know what to do. And all this bottom here, you know, this is going right to the edge of the fender. I think what I'm going to do is just cut this right on that brass line. This will stay, it's good and solid. Cut that on that brass line right to the edge of the fender here. Probably from around here somewhere, and just make me a piece that'll fit this area, weld it in, and I'll have to keep it a little on the inside here because this cover plate's gonna go over it. Yeah, that looks like it. That's almost the right shape. Yeah, because it is the right shape. It's one I cut out. Anyway, I'll look at it a little more and see what I think is the best. And this is all bent and stuff. You know, it's got a curve coming out to to the fender curve here. I'm going to cut my piece first and lay it in here and see what it looks like. Maybe if I get this in and then bend this all in up against the lip, see what I got. Anyway, I'll have to make another, put my piece up there and trim it and see what goes on from there. Well, I cut me a little piece here, welded that into the fender, and this piece will go over the top of it, and I'm looking pretty good in this area. I've managed to preserve the curve of this original curve here. It's not quite perfect, but it's pretty good. I did have couldn't get all that weld off of it right there. But this piece, it's got a kind of double curve to it. It's got to be welded there and then curved in here on the front. I've got it pretty much where it should go. I think what I'm going to try to do is start welding it here on this curve on the top and follow it down and keep hammering it in and welding it. And once I've got that, then this outside curve I'll try to match it. But I think the first part is to really match this to the curve. I may weld a little and grind off a little weld and grind until I can get this, because this is a pretty nice curve here. It's hopefully that'll be good enough. See, it looks pretty good right there. I'll just have to trim up a couple corners and press on with getting this thing in. Well, there it is, all welded up. I welded the panel on the inside. I don't know if we can see what's going on in there. Let's see if we can get a look at it. Hopefully this is showing you something. Well, I'm looking the wrong way. I'm just guessing whether I'm showing you anything or not. Looks like the weld's pretty good. My lip is sticking out quite a bit right here. I probably need to transition it, but it's welded real good on both plates. Welded real good on the inside. I patched the rust holes I had. So I actually think this is not too bad. There's a lot of work and a lot of welding, but I got that flare. Looks pretty good from up here. When I grind it all down, it'll have a nice round edge on it, and I can fill that up if it's too sharp with the Bondo and smooth it out a little. But I got it about the same shape Not perfect by any means, but there's going to be a lot of Bondo right in here in this low spot. It's probably going to start hitting right in here somewhere, but that's all nice new solid metal welded in. You know, it'd be interesting to, I build a lot of these old rat rods and stuff, and that just has a real nice look to it to me. And one of these days I think I'm going to build one and leave all the welds just like that. Might be an interesting thing to do. Of course, I don't want to take on a project that's got a whole car full of welds, but that should do it on this fender. I gotta put another little piece in here somewhere, trim that lower lip down there, and of course fill it real good. So there's real good half a day's work here. Call it quits and go home. Well, here's Mr. Fender. It's all ground down. The back of it's all welded up good. So it looks like I'm ready to start bondoing it. It's pretty good. I ground it all down. Only had like 2 or 3 pinholes in it. So I'm pretty pleased with this. Well, I whittled this all down. I kind of cleaned up my weld area there. Looks like I've got a low spot here, a little bit there. I got another one up here. I knocked this area down with a board sander. It actually looks pretty good. A few low spots. But it's straight, pretty much flat. I taped my valence here and filled up this crack. I started to work on that. Before I put more Bondo on it, I'm going to clean up this top area here for the eyebrow, I guess you'd call it. And I'll have to sand this all down so the Bondo will stick. Put some good screws in it. There's a piece there. Clean it up, and I can do this part in here, and I can go ahead and start working on getting some of this fixed. It's curving in towards the fender there, and I think that what I should do is make it kind of straight. Here's something straight. Yeah, you know, just bring this whole thing to about where the edge of this Bondo edge is here. Still maintain the curve. It'll have a little curve going back into it. I looked at the other side, it's about the same. I lost my hole here. I don't know what that was for. I think that's a bracket that goes onto the end of the bumper. I'm not sure, but it'll be easy enough to take out if I need it. Looks like I got a little more low right in here, and I didn't sand off a whole lot. I was just trying to get this thing straight. Looks like right in here it's got some kind of high spots too, and that may be somewhat of a challenge to fix, and I believe I've got some more weld in here somewhere. Oh yeah, right there in the back. Anyway, here's the kind of first coat of Bondo on this whole fender reconstruction, or lip and fender. It don't look too bad. I'm going to go ahead and mix up another coat, try to fill my low spots, sand it down. It should be looking pretty good at that point. Well, here's my next problem. I was going to fix this thing. I'll put this thing on far away focus, so we're getting a little better. But what was happening is when I got the edge of the fender, it was contacting right in there. It's still contacting a little right up at the top there. I probably ought to take that down a little, but this just wouldn't go over far enough. It was a 1/16 of an inch, and it was hitting this. And one of the problems is this piece here is broken. See, that's supposed to be up in there. The problem is all this whole piece here is made of pot metal. You can't weld it. So what I decided to do, I cleaned this up, roughed it real good where it was broke, and I'm gonna put some JB weld in there. Now I need to get this back like 1/16 of an inch. I don't know if you can see it moving, but it's moving a little bit. I've loosened all these bolts here and moved this whole bracket in because the screws were actually holding it, keeping it from going in. Now I could have built up the fender, but the problem was that if I left it out that far, get this up here, the fender edge right here wasn't lining up, and it was kind of curved to match the bad adjustment of this eyebrow. So I welded that up, ground it down to where it needed to be, welded it up, and polished it, so now it's a straight edge instead of a dog leg. So I think what I'm going to do is try to get a pair of vice grips or something back here between this I don't know what this thing is, nose piece, and try to clamp it back in there a little bit. Put me a little piece of metal in here and JB weld the hell out of it. Let it set overnight. Hopefully that'll hold it. I'm not sure, but at least now I can go ahead and get this this edge straight with the eyebrow here, and put a little Bondo on it and move forward on getting the rest of this fender straight. I've been fooling with this for at least an hour, but I did grind away where it was interfering here and right down here, and reshaped the inside of this eyebrow here so it's clearing. So I think we'll be good. I'll just try to clamp it and see what I can get out of it now. Well, I made a little L bracket out of a piece of this fender stuff. Put on there. I've got my vice grips up under the hood, kind of holding this whole thing together a little bit. I've got plenty of JB weld on it, and I'm sure that'll hold. And I worked on this just a little more. I got the this nose piece to where it's pretty much fitting on the fender. I might have a little more work to do right here, but I didn't have to move that very much, maybe a 32nd of an inch, 30 thousandths, 40 thousandths. So I'm hoping that bracket will be strong enough to keep this. I'm gonna see if I can get some more JB weld up in behind it there. If it glues that clip in, so be it. I can cut off the front part of it, and it'll give it a little strength. I mean, it's as strong as this pot metal was. Anyway, I'm gonna kind of try to fill that up in the back with more JB weld. Go ahead and mount my valence and get back to the Bondo work. Well, I got this on. Matches pretty good across here. The lip is a little higher than the fender, which is okay. I can put a little Bondo on that. And here it's just a little higher. Same thing down here. But the line is real straight. This is almost matching. I'm like a 1/16 of an inch. And I got a pretty decent gap. I probably didn't have to modify this. I did. But if that little bracket in there breaks again, this is going to come forward again. I think I've got it good enough. But anyway, I'm real pleased with the way everything fits here. And so I can go ahead and Bondo this up. I think probably what I'll do is just put a little tape here on the nose piece so I don't get any Bondo on it. And that'll sort this out. Looks like my valence down here is doing pretty good. Of course, this is not right here. I've got this cap is sitting over the top of the lower piece, but I'll have to make the fender one straight thing there. So I probably ought to build up all of this to match this top piece. And I got a couple little low spots. So I've been at this all day, but that's what it takes, you know. I basically fixed one screw. Hopefully I fixed it, but I don't know what this piece here costs. Quite a bit, I imagine, $150, $200. It's not a real simple looking piece. We'll see. Anyway, I'm at the point where I can throw some Bondo on it and move along. Here's the same shot with more of a zoom feature. It shows a lot more detail, but it's also hard to keep what I'm talking about in frame. So I'm going to try to keep using the far one until I want to show something I did. Then I'll use this close-up. Well, there it is. Another pretty long day. This stuff up on top here was, I mixed it a little too hot. It's pretty warm in here, so I just knocked it off real quick. And a little same right there, but that's real thin across there. All this bottom is good. Bondo's real thin. We've got a few little high places, but ran out, but I mixed up some more and I did this. That's probably a final coat right there. This whole fender is real straight now. Got a good body line in it. That headlight bucket's good. This transition right here is going to be real nice. I kind of like that. Sort of looks like a rocket. And let this harden good. Get some power tools on it tomorrow and finish straightening it up. And I think I'll be at least done for the 80 grit Bondo work, body work. I still have to strip this whole fender, of course, and I got some fooling around with the doors to do. Looks like all the rest of this is all matching real nice. It's too bad that window's cracked. Kind of hate to spend all the money to get it taken out. I'll try to do it myself, but have to get that done before I paint it. These vent wing rubbers are pretty much hard. I still haven't figured out that back window yet. Don't know about this door. I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna just try sanding it and see what it looks like. I'm sure the roof has got rust on it, but it don't look crooked or anything. Of course, none of it looked crooked before I started. But I'm real pleased with the way this looks. Going to have real crisp body lines, and that's what's going to sell it, you know. So please like and subscribe. I know my videos are sometimes not got a lot of dancing women in them or anything like that, but I'm trying to do the best I can and show you the best way I know how to fix some of this stuff without spending an arm and a leg.